Three, two, one. We're live. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Michael Rolla here. For those of you who may be new, I just wanted to kind of do a quick video, talk about, what I've studied and what I'm here to share and what I'd love to, help people learn to understand as we're all coming into all these energies and all this sort of thing. So shout out to the Fifth Essentials crew. Thanks for having me. Glad to be a part of it. But yeah, I didn't want to go too big on the first video. This is the first one. So, but those of you who've been following me already, you might have kind of know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to give an overview, talk about basically Taoism, Tai Chi, energy, yin yang, all of this kind of stuff. And so I wanted to focus in this video about the three Dan Tiens, which are basically the energy centers that are in your forehead, in your heart, and then behind your navel. They're really key things that I think we can all benefit from, and the community can, because of all the chakra work and stuff that everyone's doing. So we're constantly clearing our chakras, grounding, doing all this type of stuff, and it can be longer practices, doing one chakra each, whatever. But there's once you start doing the research, there's so many meridians, there's so many things like, hey G, hey Josie, get my comments. There's so many meridians, there's so many things that you activate, and as people are coming into these real activations, it's actual things that you can do. It's kind of like emotional, let's say therapy. I don't want to use that word, but, just clearing out old emotional habits or old patterns and things like this. It's an actual real process, and all of this stuff is coming out. It's amazing to see it all happening, and they know their stuff. These Taoists, that's all I'm going to say. They got this mapped out, 5,000 years old scrolls where they're showing people doing Tai Chi poses and, all this kind of stuff. So this stuff is really helpful. This to me is that making it physical, how we all want to manifest, and we want this, and we want to change ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically. You can change all of these things and really change them. So this is why I love this type of stuff anyways. And I've been into it for, over 15 years and stuff. So it's really, really helpful. Of course, I'm a, average American suburban born kid. So, I'm no monk or anything like that, but, it's astounding, the what happens when you just, I don't want to give too much away, but you just focus on how you feel. Your lower Dan Tian, we'll say that. So the key, and I've said this before in my videos, is you want to include the whole body. There's a lot of different types of meditations, like the Kundalini, where you go up, up, and it's all up in your head, and people are flying and everything's going great, but you're leaving your body. You're leaving and leaving and leaving, and you're using your body's resources, your adrenals. You're burning yourself up, sending all that chi, all that energy, using it for this. So it's really important that we understand the whole body and the whole concept and the whole idea of the whole thing, heaven, earth, or, cosmic, whatever, earth, and then the body, the human, the being. And so the microcosmic orbit is also part of that. I think they kind of go hand in hand to me, because and you can do one at a time, of course, but the microcosmic orbit here, I want to share these screens to you guys first. Let's do this is the Dan Tiens. So yeah, and then I'll jump over to microcosmic orbit. Hopefully you guys can see that. So these are all, third eye, your crown. This is your jade pillow, the Feng Fu, right? Then it's your throat chakra. There's the gap, right, which is your seventh vertebrae. Then there's the middle dantian, your heart chakra is right here. And then you can get into your, come on, help me. What's after the heart? Solar plexus, right? Sacral, and then the root's it's at the bottom, right? And so this is they call it the Tai Chi pole, from the Bai Wi on the top of your head all the way down to the bottom. So that's why you want to maintain, a straight spine and all of these things. So this is kind of the path. Oh, wait, here, left. So this is the path of the microcosmic orbit. So the functional channel is in the front. It's the black. circles, and the governor is the fire, or the, conception, functional conception. So it's basically yin and yang. So governor is the yin, or is the yang, and then the functional is the yin. So when you're breathing, the orbit goes up. You can go up the front and then down the back. They say when you get to later in life, 60s, 70s, you can go up the front and then come down the back, because then you're using your energy to recharge your kidneys, which are the batteries, which are back there. But it can go in either direction. Honestly, go with whatever feels best for you. And then what it does, so if you go up the back, let's say the fire, right, it's all burning. That's why back, and strength in it, right? And then in the front, it's like awareness and the conception and the feminine and the like more. Yeah, there's so many ways to put it. And then once you come down, then it crosses, okay, and then it goes into the bottom of your leg, right? And then it comes back up, and then it's literally, you're doing a figure 8 with the microcosmic orbit within your body, and it splits right there. But the whole body, right, and all the organs are contained right here, in the body, in the head. We still got, legs is just muscles, bones, and stuff like that. Not that they're not important, but when you're focused on these things, you really want to focus on the lower Dan Tiens, because what happens is you're draining your mind of thinking too much, and you're dropping it down, and you can literally feel this as it happens, like, because it's energy, and you drop it all the way down. You pass the heart, you're loving, all this stuff, right? You get down and you stay down here. This is one thing that a lot of people, perhaps, I don't know how many people, but maybe don't, it gets tough. It's one thing to meditate, but you can meditate on all the different parts of the body, all the different meridians, and I'll get into more of that stuff later. But the reason this one is so important is because if you fill the lower Dan Tiens, this is where your Jing, your original sort of like essence, if you will, transforms into Qi, and then it will move up into your middle Dan Tiens, and then it'll activate the heart, and then the Qi, and it'll create Qi in the heart. So now it's like your purpose, or your primordial, what you are, lower root. And then I like to think of lower Dan Tiens as the lower 3 chakras. The middle Dan Tiens is 4, 5, no wait, 3, 4, and 5. So they overlap by 1. I'll have to get another diagram. And then the upper is crown, third eye, throat, right? So going down middle is throat, heart, solar plexus. Lower is solar plexus, sacral, and root. So they're connected, and basically it'll go up from Jing lower to Qi, and then create the Shen, which is Chinese, or for spirit. So and it will fill your mind with what it needs. And the whole thing about this, and I'll stop screen sharing here. I don't know if we can do it like this. Yeah, you can't see the diagram, it's just black. Oh man, I feel so bad. Hopefully you kind of understood some. I'll have to try it again. Let me do it this way. I don't know why that didn't work. I've done it before. I'm just going to do screen share, and you're going to see the craziness. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. So here, circle back. So, this is the upper, the 3 Dan Tiens, right? And so when you fill the lower, it'll rise up to the middle, and then it'll rise up to your upper. And this will help whatever, I think, we're all thinking so much, or, the mind. And then when, you take medication, they're medicating you for a lot of times, maybe a mental issue, but then it has adverse effects on your body, or they're giving you medication for the body, but it's having adverse effects on the brain. There's all these kinds of things. And the examples, they've basically, so where this comes from is, this is where we're all plugged in to our mamas, right? It's the lower Dan Tiens. So before you developed your brain, you had a body that knew what it needed to do in order to survive. And, not, not completely, but, eat, it knows how to eat, it knows how to feel, it knows how to whatever else goes on, I don't know, right, inside a baby, or in the womb. But this idea that you have a second brain, and some of you guys may not have heard of that, but you have a second brain that is in your intestines. So basically your small intestines and your large intestines have the same exact cells that your brains have, the same neurons that your brains have. So you can, this is the psychic senses, the sense of, feeling and the senses, right? And so focusing your intention and the lower dantian, right? And so then this was, I was saying earlier real quick, the functional going down and then the governor coming up. So the fire, and again, go in any direction, but you go up, it comes down, it crosses at the waist, at your root, and then it crosses, goes down the back of the leg, or, whichever way you did. So you're doing a unity, you're doing an infinity breath within the microcosmic orbit. And it says, the tongue touched the roof of the mouth, roof of the palate to complete the circuit. So you always want your tongue touching, because that's right where the fire and the water need to connect. It's right on your face. It's in your mouth, because it's an open. If you open your mouth, it's open portal right away. So, and then there's all these different things, right? Like you have all the crown, right? And I was showing this one, the crown, third eye. That's your jade pillow in the back, the feng fu. This is your throat chakra, you can call it, right? I don't know if they have it on here. Yeah, I mean, it's here too. And then you get, thymus, the right heart chakra right here. You can think of all the chakras, solar plexus, sacral, and then the root is really at the bottom. And this is the pole, the Tai Chi pole I mentioned. It goes from your byway, your crown of your head, to the root. And that's why you want to stand straight, keep your spine flexible throughout your life. Your spine is everything. And so when you focus and you start doing the different practices from your lower dantian, you'll start to fill it with qi, with jing, which will transform into qi eventually, and it'll naturally all by itself steam, like rise up your channels. There's hundreds of meridians, and as I say, I'll get into some more of those on the way, but really focusing on like these main ones, right? And then the qi from your heart, giving it in the middle, the qi, the energy, the boost, not the primordial, baby, or the primordial, infinity. We're right in the middle. So that chi, and then your jing, your essence, and your chi will help create and develop your spiritual self, your soul. Will create a better soul, right? We're incarnating, we're trying to do better and better, every single time. We can't take any of this stuff with us, but we can take what we learned, what we figured out while we were here. So that's all I really wanted to kind of go over. There's a lot to talk about with all this stuff, but that's why, like I say, I just stuck to these, and I'm going to be sticking to these for a while as we go through, and I'll explain more of them, and we'll have some practices. Wait, how do that go? Okay, let's remove. So so we'll be getting into like a lot more of that. I didn't want to spend too long. I just wanted to say hey and shout out. You saw it now? Okay, cool. That was way better. Hey guys, thanks for showing up. Just wanted to, emphasize, the importance of just taking care of yourself, and just how easy it is, I think, is really the big thing. You want to take pills, or you want to work out all the time, or you want to do this, or you're going to do that. But, as we're all learning the spiritual energetic things, when we go inside to that universe, that inner verse, I mean, it's a whole nother, you can change everything about yourself. And it all starts from the inside, it's not from the outside. So, pay attention to your chakras, your 3 dantians. Try and get into the breath, I want to say, the microcosmic orbit, going up and down, because those are the 2 main channels in our bodies directly connected with the spine. So if you just keep doing that over and over and over again, your circulation will improve, your lymphatic system will kick in, everything, your parasympathetic, so all of it will kick in the slow thing. So all you do is up and down, and then some things that you can play with your dantians as you will, but it's the center of the crystal palace, right up top, your third eye, your upper dantian, and then heart center, and then your source of, so wherever you want to go, and then if you fill them right, they're going to communicate with the rest of them. So it just so happens that if you fill the bottom, everything will rise up. And so the practice for you guys is stop thinking too much, like, any of us do. The age of information, we're all thinking all the time. But typically in the Western, it's a little more like that, because industrial and all the wars and fighting everybody, and we're all like logistics and facts, and all this, so learning to relax, learning to shut this off and fill your belly. No food. You guys want to learn to chi breathe? You want to breathe, or you want to live like a breatharian. Want just, that's where it starts. You have to transform your body, physical vessel, to be able to do that stuff. And you got to start at the bottom. It's not up here. It's not all the conceptualizing we think about. It's not all of this. It's not, take it from me. I've analyzed like so many things, as I've gone through this. And that's why I've picked apart all the different, right? And that's what we're all doing. We're all getting more information, and one day it all makes sense. But I want to get us a head start, right? Let's all see what we can do. And I'd love to know how it goes for you guys, but just, no real practices or anything like that. Just saying hi, first video. Looking forward to doing more. I might iron out how to go live or something here, but just stay healthy, everyone. And yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, check the replay. Hey, Nicole. Just talking about the orbit, simple things you can start to do when you meditate. Meditate on your belly and on your sacral chakra. And then don't think of it as just your sacral chakra. Think of it as an energy source for your 3 lower chakras, right? The root, sacral, and then the solar plexus. That's why I like thinking of the 3 that way. And then they overlap. It's like a Venn diagram, or 3 circles. And so then you can work on everything else, like however, sometimes that's the best meditation, is just to not think at all, right? I don't want to say all the time, but you can meditate and communicate through the heart and through the mind. And and then once you guys get used to the belly, and they even technically, who just did it, they proved that the heart actually has memory too, just like the brain, that it all works the same as the brain. So we think that we only have one brain, but we actually have 3 centers of intelligence within our bodies. And the top one gets all the stuff, the thoughts, the talk, because the bottom is the talking. So we got all the ideas, we're seeing how it's all working, and then we start blabbing. Okay. And then it goes from talking. Why are we talking? We're sharing our heart, our story, our whatever, our chi, right? Then our solar plexus, from who we are, and then you go down, blah, 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 blah. But focusing on them as those energy centers, it makes it can totally enhance all of your guys' practice. Anything that you're doing, like with your, your chakras, meditations, things like that. Just do your 3 Dan Tiens, do your root, right? Well, whatever order, but root, there's heaven, and then there's you, the merger. There's father, there's mother, and then there's the baby, and that's all of us, the creation, right? So we can literally create ourselves brand new all the time. And this is just what science, hasn't proven yet. So, but no, so that was I saying. So they because of someone who got a heart transplant, they proved that the heart can record all memories too, just like the brain. Feelings, emotions, sight, they can see them, everything like that. So what happened was a girl actually got in a bad place and was killed, let's put it that way. And so then the donor who received her heart, it was unexpected. It was out of nowhere. The donor then was waking up with nightmares about this person who was attacking her. And so after some time, after trying to, get rid of whatever, her mom called the police, I guess. And then she gave the police a full, complete description, and they sketched this dude out. And then they went and found the guy, and then he actually admitted to doing it. So not having any mental or it was all in the heart. So they've proven with the cells in the intestines and the neurons in our bellies that are the same as the ones in our brains, You know, if we think of it, that's where it started first, was in our navels, in our bellies. That's where we grew from. But we keep trying to fill this and shove this with more information, and you need to memorize more of this and memorize more. Your body already knows what to do. That's the whole concept, right? And where does it know? Down here in your belly. That's why you get a gut feeling. It's called a gut feeling, because you're feeling the same things. You feel it in your gut almost before you feel it in your brain. You know, you might, I mean, sure, we need it all and we got to send signals and, you know, okay. But the same cells in your belly. And then I'm sure the same, I don't know if it'll be the same cells in the heart, but the heart has its own complete intelligence. And that's also another thing in the Taoist, is the intelligences, that every organ of the body has its own intelligence, and everything has its own intelligence, because everything that's here has evolved from life. And so it all has a spiritual, you know, connection, or, you know, energetic connection, just physical connection, you know. I think it'll be fun as we connect the spiritual and the physical, because it's really not disconnected at all, you know. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So science, they're trying too hard sometimes, you know. They just gotta, you know, because I think they've proven, you know, like quantum physics, all that stuff, you know, they've created a silver and gold molecules out of thin air. You know, we got 3D printers now. There's 3D printers. I mean, it's just, everything's going to change. And so, you know, it's really important, I feel, that we stay a little bit ahead of the curve, just a little bit. Take care of your body, know what's coming, know what we're all going to be getting into, what we're already going through. Shout out to everybody who's going through it. We're all going through it. Shout out to all the fam, the loved ones, and everybody. Belly button is the fourth eye. Ooh, nice. Well, and that's why I like that. Like, technically, right, the belly is the first eye, you know. It's just like, we don't call it eye because we don't see like these eyes. It's all relative, you know what I mean? It's too funny. But I love that, those connections, right? Like how we have to, yeah, it's totally an eye too. Like, right, I'm not judging. You're all first eyes in my eyes. You know, water retains memory. Yeah, we are water. Uh-huh. Everything you feel like. Yeah, so solar plexus has been a really they've attacked that constantly, because it's the center of who you are. We're all supposed to be here, all trying to, you know, grow and connect. So what happens? We got all this heart energy and this love to give, but then our root, right? What happens to our root? So we got all this core being, and then we're like, oh, and then you know, sensual, you know, then sacral, right? And then this is who I am, this is how I want to feel, I want to experience life. And then boom, they hit their solar plexus, so your heart can't meet with your who you are, and right, and that's all of this. You're not cool enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're not whatever. Every one of anything that you can think, it's all attacking your solar plexus. And then eventually it gets into the mind, but you start with the mind first, so that people don't have an understanding of how their body, you know, works. Like, what did I saw Sadhi Guru, shout out, he said, like, have you read the manual? He's like, you've been alive for how many decades? Have you read the manual yet? Have you read this? Do you know how it works? Do you know how to provide maintenance? You know, not like he said that, but, you know, I loved it. I mean, it's totally true. And, you know, we're all learning, and I mean, I'm still learning too. And Tai Chi, Qigong, it's for life. It doesn't stop. Life keeps going. Your energy keeps changing. The world's energy keeps changing. The everything, you know, there is no stopping. And that's why, you know, being flexible, being adaptive are the key things. You know, I'd say number one exercise is stretch. It's gonna tighten everything. It's gonna stretch. That's all you gotta do. And then lift weights, because we need our muscles. You know, we need to lift these bodies. So, you know, you gotta stay, you know, a little bit of everything, but some of it's extreme. I mean, those guys are killer. Like, good on them. Go for it, yo. But when you do the internal negongs, you can change your outer physicality. Like, I mean, we're not doing that all the time every day here, and the goal necessarily isn't to just change your physicality. You should be happy with your physicality, you know what I mean? But it's like, um, the more we learn, guys, the more we're gonna see how it all just comes in on each other. Not like, I don't want to say, you know, destroys or whatever, but it all comes back to the source. It all goes out and it all goes back. And we got a million different things we can learn and different ways of doing it. So yeah, so shout out to this video. Why I made this video, because I wanted to share with my 15 plus years. I think I can help just whoever might want to know more, or offer it to you guys. I'm not a, you know I don't have a dojo and I'm not doing this, in classes, but I've taught it to numerous people throughout my life, and I've gave them some pretty wild experiences. That's true. And that's just meditating, guys, and it. So, but I wanted to get also kind of off the good guy, bad guy stuff, where the whole world's going here, going there, doing this, doing that. And yeah, everything's yin and yang, and there's yang and yin, and there's yin and yang. And, once everybody learns how to dance, right, within the flow, then it's a wonderful, carefree, way of living, because you have faith again, that it's all working and it's all just where it needs to be, because you've aligned with where you're supposed to be, all that kind of stuff, meditation, tai chi, qigong, all of it is the greatest thing on the planet that any of us could be doing, like, at any given time. I mean, as opposed to, doing a lot of other cool stuff, but I'm not saying, like the one thing in self-development, it's meditating, exercising. But the Nagong, understanding, like, it's just, you have to go inward, 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 inward. And then you realize how it's all your thoughts. It's all that one thing you thought that led to another thing that led to another thing, right? And you could do regression, or, meditation, or, stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff like that. But once you center within your universes and you understand your energy cycles, and all of it, and what you're affected by and how you're affected by it. And then just developing, as I said, just developing the awareness. So breathe up, breathe down, stay in the center in your belly, and just observe your breath as it goes up and as it goes down, and try to pay attention to every point that you can, and be as sensitive as you can, because you want to activate them. You want to turn on. It's like tapping, right? To get to, what is that, tapping? What is that, tapping stuff? Whatever, tapping. You can tap your body too, center line, right? Go down, but focus as the observer, right? And then you'll see your own creation of yourself, and all the things that you've ever thought about, or experienced, interacted with, all of it, because your body remembers all of it. Your heart remembers it, your mind. And so in order to transmute with the physical body, right? There's a lot of ways to transmute, but you fill up the body so that you're unshakable, right? Like Master Shi said one time, you're unshakable in your belly, in your core, in your root. And then you can build any kind of life you want on top of that, with all, your knowing, and then your heart, all the energy. You'll have the passion again. You'll have the fire burning. We all have a fire. It's all yin yang within everything. So there's a fire and there's water, and it's in all three Dan Tiens. And then you got to go into with everything. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's why it probably took me so many years to just kind of wrap all my heads around it all and figure out the shortcuts. I don't want to say I know the shortcuts, right? Go see a kung fu master. He'll drop me on the floor in 2 seconds. I'm not fooling nobody. I'm not trying to fool nobody here, like, but just putting all this stuff together, as we all are, it's been such an awesome journey to practice it, to see where it took me, to understand, the healing sounds, the different organ, 5 phases, and everything, and the 8 extraordinary vessels, and ocean, and internal and external breathing, and bone marrow cleansings, and rooting, and standing like a tree, and all this stuff. And there's no way to explain what standing like a tree for 30 minutes a day can do for you. I just, like, it's tough to explain. You're gonna feel really good. That's all I can tell you. Like, you're gonna feel really good. Like, do it for a week straight, 30 minutes. Just stand, and go as low as you can. You don't got to be professional, but just stand and drop your butt down, and settle, horse stance. You'll feel a different kind of workout, than running, or even yoga. It's almost like yoga, but you didn't expend energy, right? So you're increasing your body's capacity to hold more light and to hold more energy. You're opening up your channels, because all you're doing is standing there, right? But then you're not lifting weights, you're not twisting, you're not putting pressure on any part of your body except maybe your legs, until they get stronger. But once those channels open, like open, and I've experienced it numerous times, like, I mean, there's nothing, there's no working out that does that. There's no modern whatever that it can even come close. So that's why I don't, right, that's why I love teaching this stuff, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna start cramming it down YouTube's throat. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Yeah, like one of them, with your arms out, and it's just like a tube of light is just through your arms, and keep your arms out, keep them out there, keep them out there, keep them out there. How long has it been? 40 minutes. I can't even do 5, holding my arms out like this. So you go into it more, you do it more, you do it. And then your legs up to your arms, and then you're just clear. And what happens, the reason you feel great is because then all the fresh chi has to come in, and you've cleared, right? And now all you have is the chi of the day, of your surroundings, of, and then once you generate your own chi, when you're using your jing, your lower Dan Tiens, and you're filling it so that it overflows, it'll provide all the chi, energy, strength, stamina, all that stuff that, like, to get through the day, whatever, you won't be fatigued, it'll do all that kind of stuff. And then it goes up to the mind, and that's when you develop the Shen, the spirit, from your chi, from your being, who you are. Okay, I think that's all for now. What are you guys talking about? I hope that makes sense, you guys. Yeah, going through a lot. It is happening right now. Yes, stretch. Josie, I'm tired. That's it. And then, do a little, you got to do some resistance. You know what I mean? Otherwise, if you don't, you get too old, you can't lift your own. That's why I can't lift, because they stopped lifting. And yeah, yoga and Qigong. Yeah, yoga is super good. I would think of yoga as like the more active, but then Qigong, when you get into it, that's what we'll do too. I'll try to do the right mix, because Neigong is just easier, internal, mental, going inside, meditating, but without transmuting it. I think I said this recently on a video or something, but without the hard punch, right? You're not pushing, you're not creating, that energy is lost because you didn't punch. Just keep it simple, right? If you punch, you're creating a different energy than you would if you were just, going slow, or you know what I mean? It's hard Qigong, soft Qigong, but we got to do both. We got to do both. That's why it's like, it's not just mental, it's physical. It's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah. Magic happens through a relaxed vessel. Totally. Mm-hmm. Hey, Pre, love you, Pre. When you're on either side, you think they're the good guy either way. Exactly. That's why it's like, everybody be in their own flow, and don't worry about everything. everything, man. There's so much. That's why I wanted to talk about the lower Dan Tien, man. 3 Dan Tiens. And you can go in either one. If women typically go back into the heart one. So it's the typical to learn the lower, so you get familiar. And then usually women will go back to the heart because that's where their activation center more is. So for you ladies, you can totally do the heart chakras too, but drop that mind. Get rid of just drop into yourself. Just drop your whole. I'm going to get into the practices. I'll save those for some other videos because I want you guys to know how to do at least the easy peasy stuff for this. Yep. Use Qigong when you got to recharge. Yeah. Yep. Mornings. Yeah. More. And that's the thing too, the cycles, right? It's the best time to reinvent or to because you wake up in the morning, I hope you're more energized, okay, at the highest point almost, right? Because unless it takes you a minute to wake up, but that's when you can transmute. That's when you make the change. That's when you use your chi, right, out into the world. And then once night comes, you can. So you're typically during the day, you're doing their activities. You're working out, doing kung fu, or you're, whatever, this or that, and then you take a break, right? Lunchtime comes, then quiet, right? Maybe have some food, meditate, after your workout and all that kind of stuff, because it's just, I don't know. It's what else is there to say? It's literally like we have all the keys and we have all the codes, and we're just going to keep getting more and more and more and more codes. So learning how to access the codes, how to use the codes, you got to figure out where they fit inside you first. It's like resonating, with the energies. You got to make sure you have space inside of you and that the key fits, because if it's not for you, then it's not for you. You got to be able to push it away if it's not for you. That gut feeling, right? We should never feel, well, you feel it if you get the gut feeling, but it should never be something like that staying with you. So yeah, anyways, I'm just blabbing. Just keep clearing, do your lower focus. When you meditate, just go up the back, down the front, keep your tongue to the roof of your mouth, the palate. And, you can breathe in and out of the nose. You can breathe out of the mouth too if you need to exhale, because as you go through it, you might need to. And then just focus on your belly, the inside, 2 inches behind your belly or so. And then focusing there, but letting it go, observing your focus that you are putting where, right? Where your intention flows, your chi goes, or whatever, however that says, right? So if you are learning to create yourself, I guess is one way to put it, start with understanding that you have, first thing is choice. What do you want to think about? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to act about? What do you want to do? And starting from that point, that observer is who we are, right? Not, this is just a body. So we want to observe us letting our mind, our thoughts drain down through our body, through the process, into our lower abs, lower Dan Tian, and then just sit in there and just sit there and breathe up and down and breathe and keep trying to do it. But look how hard it is, right? Because we constantly think that we are our thoughts. Oh, I had that thought, therefore that's who I am, and blah, blah, blah. No. That's not you. We are creators. So we can choose to think anything. But once we give our emotion to it, now we're making it real. We're using our jing, we're using our chi, okay? And now it's becoming real, and we're creating that body to now live in, right? Thoughts, emotions, anything, all of it, physical, it's all the same. So yeah. Yeah, circuit completion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you metabolize all the codes. When I started Tai Chi, I always used to just say, or, I don't know, was in my 20s. I just remember the point when I realized like doing this catches me up with my life. Like, if anything, puts me way ahead of what is still waiting to come, So, but any spiritual, channel, all of us, we all get our own things like that. But yeah, Tai Chi, Qigong, it will, if you fall behind, it will catch you up. If you keep doing it, it will put you way ahead of the game, Yeah, but if you stop, it's like working out. You got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing it. Don't stop for too long. But 100 days, guys. 100 days. You ready? 100-day challenge. So we're gonna have to start doing challenges first. Got to do it 100 days in a row. Just practice for 5-10 minutes. Don't even care how long it is. Just when you practice, make sure you're learning. That's practice. Okay, time for Michael to eat. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, it's a really big topic, and considering the fact that like I've found so many things and put together so many things, I'm going to squirrel off a whole lot. So feel free to, questions, comments, all that sort of stuff. And then I'll see you on the next one. Try to do it once a week. And we'll talk about some more things next week. I don't want to give it away yet. So, all right, guys, love yous. Yep. Thanks for shout out to the squad. Love you guys. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.